Oh, well, that makes me feel good. You know, real warm down inside.
What I would like to hear is a well thought out argument as to why HHO cannot work when boosting an internal combustion engine.
You got it wrong! Shifting the burden of proof onto the skeptics is wrong. That is what cult retards do. That is what ignorant psychic retards do. That is what astrologers do. That is what mind readers do. That is why I call these oxyhydrogen moron retards cultists, because their behavior is cult-like. The burden of proof rests upon the person making the positive assertion. The burden of proof does not rest upon the skeptics. I should also note, it is the job of the oxyhydrogen booster promoters and sellers to disprove their own claims. It is their job to disprove themselves. It is not the skeptics' jobs to disprove their claims. That is how science works. That is how reality works. I refuse to accept the burden of proof for other people's claims. They own it. They, therefore, must prove and try to disprove their own fucking claims. It is not legitimate to ask skeptics to provide arguments against other people's claims.
Now, I'm not against anybody, testing their device on a dyno. I'd like to see more of it. But as far as his challenge goes, I don't see any reason why anybody would want to try and prove to him whether it works or not. I mean, why should they? That's another argument. Why should anybody take the time to prove to Desertphile and his viewers that HHO as a booster works? It's not going.
I already explained why the oxyhydrogen cultists out there would benefit from taking the Desertphile water car challenge. To shut me up on the subject once and for all, have my skeptical videos that I have on YouTube about the oxyhydrogen booster devices removed from YouTube, promoting the winning device that passes the challenge on my channel, and by far the most important,
successful test data that shows the device is actually increasing in automobiles miles per gallon by at least 20% is worth a hell of a lot of money. According to the United States Department of Energy, the United States uses 390 million gallons of gasoline per day. We can estimate that approximately 75% of that gasoline is being used in automobiles. Therefore, we can estimate that 292,500,000 gallons of gasoline is being consumed in United States automobiles every single day. If we posit a 20% increase in an automobile's miles per gallon, we can therefore estimate that United States citizens will not need to purchase 58,500,000 gallons of gasoline per day. If a gallon of gasoline costs $2.20 per gallon, every single day the United States citizens would save $128,700,000.
Valid test data is the first step in getting funding for these devices. If I had a device that I thought increased a vehicle's miles per gallon by 51%, which is what Mixcatcom's claim is, I would rush to have it tested. I would have the Environmental Protection Agency test it. I would get the documents that is certified by the United States government that is in charge of emissions and miles per gallon documentation on every single new vehicle out there. I would want that desperately because it would be worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. A mere 20% would be worth tens of millions of dollars every year just selling these products. Why is it these clowns out there don't get proper test data is fucking beyond me. You know, if I had such a device, it would be fucking easy to get funding, because I would just show a lender test data showing 20% or greater increase in miles per gallon, and money lenders would fall over themselves to lend me that money if I had the valid test data. Department of Energy, the Department of Transportation, the Environmental Protection Agency would all fight over themselves to get funding to me to get these devices built and put in every single new automobile that is manufactured in the United States or is shipped to the United States and sold in the United States. Outside of 5 years, every single new car would have such a device installed, and it would probably be mandatory. Yet these clowns out there insist they can't get funding. They, like this electric ride retard, has a PayPal donation button on his website. Fucking amazing, just fucking amazing. I could get funding for such a device within 6 months. Easy! Fucking easy! For a mere 20% increase in miles per gallon. I could almost do it in my sleep. The contacts are readily available. The Department of Energy would probably want to lease the technology, would want to license the device. I would license the device to them. They would put it in every single fucking government vehicle in the United States. And yet these clowns don't do that. These clowns don't test their devices at a EPA certified testing facility. These clowns refuse to get the documentation necessary as the first step in becoming filthy, stinking rich. Why do you suppose that is? What is this blushing debutante shyness on their part? I almost forgot the greatest reason for taking the Desertphile Water Car Challenge. To humiliate me. Please do so. Cultish read out